All right. Test, test,
Test.
test, test.
All right, so yeah, our ask an idiot question. So I almost said
That's
idiot
good.
inquiry. Yeah, ask an idiot question.
See, you said it was hard to say, and now you can't stop saying it.
I know. So, there's new chatbot AI technology out there. I don't know if you've really seen much of this here, but it's becoming more prevalent. So it's it's uh it's a program you could pull up for free and ask it questions, right? And it will give you answers based on AI, programming, technology, whatever. So some people are using this technology for fun. Some people are using it, some people have said that it could be dangerous if you're not careful. Like somebody claimed they asked it how to build a nuclear weapon and it gave them instructions. I don't know how true that is necessarily, right? But anyway, so as this becomes more and more, the technology is pretty interesting and fascinating. So you can ask it questions. It could, there are some risks to it. Some people say, well, people could in theory hack it and give you information that they want you to have and da da da. I don't know, but so kind of making some of the news recently here is some universities are worried about this technology because you could literally pull this up. It's online. You can look up chat. Let's see, what's the prevalent one here? Chat GPT, and ask it to explain something to you, and it can give you a full conversation that you could use as like an essay paper. And it's not plagiarism necessarily, right?
Right.
So it's a whole thing here. So some universities are kind of thinking about this here. They have to implement. They're thinking about how it's going to impact their teaching, how it may perhaps impact the classroom rules, maybe. So that's our ask an idiot question. I want to know a couple of things here. So first of all, have you heard? What do you think about this technology? And should universities put some guidelines like this out there to guard against it? Or some people may argue, hey, listen, if you use this technology to write an essay and pass, you're not really learning anything yourself necessarily and getting something out of it, sharpening your own skills. And that may hinder you later in the future. I don't know.
Before we get into the university debate of how does this affect, I have a question. This is for public use right now, right? Anybody can access this and have a account. This is a smart engine. Yep. It's an AI chat, so this is to act like a person.
Yep.
Can we interview it?
Yes.
I think you can.
I would like to do that.
I actually just watched something on this, so I can speak a little bit to this.
I want to ask it if it would go to a Madonna concert for free and things like that. We'll just have it on and interview it and see what it says.
I don't. I mean, yes, but it would give you a quick, simple answer. I was watching, for example, the YouTube channel is Star Wars Theory. This guy, just talks about Star Wars and whatnot. And he did it in a live session on a live stream. He asked it, and he pulled up the thing next to his face so you could see him typing and see the response.
Okay.
And guys, this answers in seconds. He wrote in what something about like what would it be if George Lucas didn't sell Disney, and bump within seconds, just rattling off a whole premise.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
People were what was the one guy? He wrote something about like write an American sitcom, and it did. And just started firing it off. It's in real time. It's so fast. It takes the just general knowledge of like everything
off the internet. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like and we should do this, and we can read this off next week if one of us wants to do this.
It's a good idea.
Ask it something about us.
Yeah.
And it will find on the internet, us and like our information. Tell us about the Convincing Idiots podcast, and it will generate instantly all this.
The Convincing Idiots podcast is three losers who get together so no one can listen to them every week. Right?
well, the one thing that like the Star Wars guy did, he asked like, give us an alternate version of something about something about Star Wars, and the only thing it got wrong was like Commander Cody wore a red stripe, not a blue stripe. That was the only thing it fucking got wrong. Like everything else was so accurate.
Jesus.
Like it's scary. Should professors be scared? Absolutely. And it's not scared, but like, yeah, it's cheating. You say, hey, I need a book report on Huckleberry Finn. Bop, 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 bop. It fires it out. Yeah, right. It's gonna. So it's not just not just college, but like high school, middle school. Bosses, well, I guess if your bosses, he doesn't give a shit how you get the information, depending on the job. They just want, the work done. But yeah, it is cheating. It really is, but it's fascinating and yet really fucking scary because what's the next step? You see, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling, guys. Interrupt me if you need to. But you see like these the deep fake videos.
Yeah.
Where like you saw the guy, he's standing split screen of like Morgan Freeman and himself, and he's talking. He's doing and it looks like Morgan Freeman is freely talking. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's so real. You combine that with this, I mean, Jesus, what's the next step? It's scary. Yeah. Like, I don't know what the next step is, but
we are watching ourselves become obsolete in front of our very eyes.
Absolutely.
Like we are.
No, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
You've now taken out you've taken out cashiers, and now the next step, sitcom writers. We're fucked.
The great backbone of society. Sitcom writers and cashiers. Damn it. Yeah, I mean it is really scary shit. And I have a question though. Well, this is, but I have an inquiry inside of an inquiry, if you will. Would we be as alarmed by this type of stuff had no one ever seen Terminator? Like, would we be as afraid of this stuff if we didn't have this underlying feeling of like the uprising of the machines? Would we look at it that way?
Simply no.
Without Terminator.
Because Terminator put a danger to it.
Right.
If you remember the movie War Games with Matthew Broderick, that put a different level of fear of computers because computers are possible to like go rogue. It didn't necessarily go rogue, but like they thought at the moment it was going rogue and to start a nuclear war.
Yeah.
Movies like that, yes, put a fear of technology into us, but that's still creepy as shit.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know that. Do you? I mean, in all sincerity, do you think AI is the next step? Will AI become
sentient?
Aware? Yeah, is that what you're thinking, or in all seriousness, do you think that there's a possibility, or when you say we become obsolete, what do you mean?
I mean, logically, there doesn't appear to be a pathway for that because that's not what it's designed to do, right? That's not. And at the end of the day, the people that create this stuff are kind of you think in control, right? The problem is when you see how intelligent these things can be, or if you give something the entire scape of the internet to learn and create
everything,
and that's where there's that wiggle where it's like, well, okay, but so it's already on paper this is smarter than a human being. It just is.
Correct.
You can't ask any human being this, right? You can't, like what Dean said in the example, the Star Wars, recount the, whatever, give me the premise of Star Wars. No human being is going to make it that accurate, right?
And that fast.
So the idea that this is a, artificial as it may be, a thinking entity, the fact that it's not out of the question to think somewhere along the line, something as intelligent as it is could gain the knowledge of what it means to be aware, what it means to be in control, what it means to be, this is all insane, out there, crazy shit.
And then
but I'm just saying that is
it has
the
all of that
possibility
information.
that it could be is like that's scary if you really think of that as a realistic possibility. It's fucking scary.
Nick, if you put all of that information together, like you just said, and then take out empathy, that's where it becomes dangerous for an AI to become, to do and be sentient and knowledgeable, have all the information, have all the tools, all the power, and no empathy.
Yeah, that's when you get. That's you're dangerously close to becoming Dean at that point, Nick.
This is robot Red Foreman.
Cheers.
No, but I think that it certainly is. It's probably going to continue to erode human thinking, and the skill of. I'm a young person. I have an assignment. Instead of going through the legwork and learning something on my own, how to research, how to type, how to formulate a thought.
Yeah,
I'm going to go in here and get the answer. Now you may get a good grade from that, but it's good. You're going to pay. You're not going to.
Society will pay for it.
Society will pay for it, and it's going to hinder your opportunities in life, frankly, if you're not able to do those things.
Look at the earliest version of this.
Yeah.
The earliest version of this is when your teacher said, no, you're not allowed to use calculators because you'll never have them at your fingertips as an adult.
Lying-ass teachers.
Right.
Well,
now look at us.
Honestly, now that you say that's an interesting comparison, right? Because
I'm really smart.
Well, no, because I mean, it really.
I didn't use calculators.
Sure.
No, but I
use my brain.
In day-to-day living, basic math, you don't necessarily need to be able to sit down and show your work to perform addition and subtraction and division. You're going to use a calculator like most people will do, right? So that skill for me, I know it's definitely, I don't know if I could sit down and really do a long division by hand anymore. I don't know. I'd have to really think through it.
Do you know how happy I was when they started putting the actual number tip things at the bottom of the thing so you didn't have to do the math of the decimal point shit?
Right.
Oh, that's what 20% is? Fuck. Let's do it. All right.
No, but to compare, some people may argue the other side of it, to where the technology is available. Why shouldn't I use it to help me gather a thought or have a quote unquote conversation that I'm interested in, and to use that information elsewhere? So I don't know. I think I don't know. So do you think there's more of a? Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying when the time comes and a guy with futuristic clothing comes up to you and says, we have to stop him, fucking listen, please.
Yes, that's right. Mm-hmm. Whether he's nude or not, just listen to him.
Yeah, that's right. Brian, how happy are you that you're going to be like dead before this all comes to fruition?
Jesus.
Like you're so close to the end. Like how exciting is that for you?
Wow.
Dickhead.
Wow. I'm going to use this technology in my sentient being as a Highlander. It's just another tool I'm going to use to absorb energy and thoughts and souls of my podcast enemies.
Yes.
Right. So.
Asshole.
Become stronger and more. I'd say actually Dean might die before any of us. He might not get to see it either.
Before this fucking podcast is over.
Well, Dean's in most of a hurry.
Yeah, Dean's trying to die first.
Nick just sped it up there. Jesus.
Yeah. I am older than both of you, but I'm not as much in a hurry. I want to take my time. I want to enjoy the pipes on the porch and chatting with the AI bot and all that type of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So overall, guys, do you think it's more of a positive thing or a negative detriment on society and future problems?
Scary because it's unknown. we don't fully. I mean, we're thinking worst case scenarios here. I think there can definitely be there definitely can be upsides to this, but we're automatically jumping to all the worst case scenarios. So just like many things, we might be making it out to be a bigger issue than what it would be or whatever. But it is good to keep these things in mind, just to be aware. But all in all, it's incredible. It is wondrous what we can do with technology, but it's a little creepy. It's
all the steps that society takes. You know what I mean? Like we said, search with the calculator, and moves to computers. Like, I can look at the who would ever thought an F-150 would go from a diesel engine. They now have electric trucks that fucking will charge up for for miles and miles and miles, and it has the same torque and same power and stuff.
Yeah.
Can you guys still hear me?
It'll be driverless soon too.
Okay. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So that'll be awesome. I can't wait to get chauffeured around by a computer. That's gonna be amazing. Yeah.
Nick, there's good and bad. We are looking at the bad, but of course it's going to save countless lives before it kills all of them. So that's my opinion.
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I guess if there's anything, is if it does encourage, I don't know, if it does encourage some people to go in and use it to learn stuff. I'm interested in this subject matter. I would just want to have a quote unquote conversation and learn about something there and get a lot more information quickly. Maybe there's some positives to that versus I'm sitting on my fucking phone and scrolling through TikTok videos, except for Convincing Idiots videos.
No, you have to stop it though. So they're fantastic.
And
they're even better.
Other than that, right? So if you learn something in that respect, so maybe there's some positives.
You're not going to learn anything, but they're entertaining. Entertaining as hell.
Yeah. I tend to think though you're probably going to see a lot more universities stepping back, and they're probably it's interesting. You're going to have to put probably rules in syllabuses and etc. to say that if you use a chatbot, you're going to have to use it as a reference, just like a book or something along that line. So,
the technology is already so advanced. He said something about being entertaining, and the phone removed him.
Eat my asshole. Hey guys,
sucked him away. All right,
so you guys couldn't hear me?
Not the last couple of moments there.
Okay, good.
I heard the important stuff. They eat my assholes and whatnot. Yep.
That's just an invitation, pal.
Chatbot was Dean entertaining in the last 5 minutes?
No.
That is why we removed him.
No.
Elimination required. Elimination required.
Right. While we're talking, I tried to create an account here for the chatbot, but it does a double verification, and I can't get to it right now. So we'll play around with that soon. So,
Yeah. We want something. Ask it something about it. A review of us, or tell us about convincing it. Something.
Yeah, I want to interview it, and I want to ask it like if it plans to take over the world, and then we're gonna probably accidentally wake up its consciousness, and then we're gonna create a monster. I think.
Yep.
It's gonna be exciting. So tune in next week. That'll be fun.
I like it.
I just assumed that you would be the cause of the end of the world, Nick. I just didn't know how. This is fascinating to learn. This is it. This is how it happens. Team with Convincing Idiots. Brian and Nick here. Like and subscribe.